Alright, so I'm here to test the audio levels for everything. See if everything's all situated as I like it. And also to see if the videos go all crazy, because that was an issue before. I'm gonna do a tropical island map. Shouldn't take too long. That'll take too long. Hell fucking no. Oh my god. No, I'm keeping that one. And Red Lake. Monster Life and Chilled Ground. Nice. Oh man. It's chili, man. It is amazing. Just do a whole video of just like me eating chili and talking about how good chili is. That would be a good video. I bet that thing would get like 10,000 views. Be amazing. Maybe Reddit could do like this April Fool's thing where they like promote some useless shit and attempt to make everyone like pay attention to it. Like the guy scooping the ice cream video. That's pretty funny. Monkeys. Right here, I'm noticing that get everything we can. Adjust down the game audio. Sounds more right. Wow, that's a loud clicky-clack keyboard. Loud clicky-clacks. More of these fucking cursing these guys, man. What can I do? What can you do? Alright. So what did I do? I took the, So hi, I'm Good, and I'm here to show you my Pierce build, or Puncture build. Yeah, Puncture Pierce, I guess. Hey, it doesn't matter. So, I decided it would be a great idea to somewhat, yeah, to make a character that does physical damage. Alright. So, hi, I'm Good, and I'm here to show you my Puncture build. Now, Puncture is a very interesting skill. It works a lot like Ignite, in that it does damage based off the damage you initially do. So, if I hit the guy and he walks around, it takes a bit of damage. Curse that guy twice. Oh, he ran away. You don't want to run away against Puncture. So, Puncture does damage based off how much damage you do, and they take a lot of extra damage if they're walking around. See, walk. It's okay. I can force them to move. I got my blind totem. So, hi, I'm Good, and I'm here to show you my Puncture build. I decided to make a bow character. I'd never made one before, so I thought it would be pretty interesting. And I decided to make a physical bow character because I am thick. It works out okay. I decided to use Puncture because I kind of wanted to make a character that used Puncture. I tried using it with Melee, and Melee's kind of interesting to use Puncture with. Because you can miss, it makes it incredibly unreliable, and because there's desync, it makes it even more unreliable. So I went with the smart option and used bows instead. So bows are ranged. You can miss guys all you want at range without having to fear of easily murdering you. So always curse immune. So many curse immune guys. So I'm just doing a little map here to show you how this build all works and how it fits together. It's pretty tame map mods, if I can say so for myself. So pretty good enemy set. This guy's not that strong against a lot of kinds of enemies because his damage output is a bit strange. So Puncture relies on a really strong hit to do good damage. Like, I wanted Puncture to be like my main attack skill. It is a support skill. Keep that in mind. It's not supposed to do like your main attack. It's supposed to be like one hit and then like you do something else. So I got split arrow for that. Yeah. So if you look at my build, I got some life regen, some attack speed, some projectile damage. Got a lot of life. I also got flask life and crystal skin, which is actually one of the best nodes in the game. Yeah. So I decided I wanted to make a character that used Puncture and used armor and evasion together. And so that seems to work okay. I didn't take iron reflexes because I am an idiot, and I didn't take unwavering stance because I am a bigger idiot, obviously. I got this node. Gives me all the lifesteal I need without equipping the lifesteal gem or life gain on hit. So with a simple 4-link, I have 2 attacks. So pierce and faster attacks on Puncture and split arrow. There's really not a whole ways to improve physical damage, I figured out. But I tried to get as many as I could so I get the biggest per hit attack, like the strongest hit I could do. So you got my damage. This is the most inaccurate tooltip you will ever see in this game. It is completely wrong. So, I do 132 to 381 physical. Fire damage is pointless. Don't even worry about that. Don't pay attention to it. It is not important. So why is it so inaccurate? It says I do that much damage, but I also have point blank. And this bow is like point blank times 2. So this gives 100% more damage at close range. More bow damage, you might find. Not just extra damage. If you could use this thing with spells, that would be pretty awesome, actually. Never mind about that. What are we doing? Yeah. Point blank. Extra damage to very close targets, but deal less damage farther away targets. So up to 0 to 10 range. 10 range is about that far-ish. It'll do like 50% extra damage. To 35 range, it'll still does bonus damage. 35 is about that far. So you still actually get a bonus damage out of point blank, even though it does say point blank. And then the damage scales off linearly after that. But it's actually a pretty good node. And, you know, if you make a bow character, you might want to grab it as well. It's also just more damage, so it applies to everything, including elemental. So, you know, if you want to be a smart guy and not make a physical bow character, so make a guy that actually does damage, you could do that. So, yeah. So this is the most powerful bow in the game, bar none, because that 100% more bow damage mod at close range. You might not think it, but it is, because it does 100 to 300 damage, effectively. Yeah, and any add-ons you get, so any, like, these gloves at 5 to 9 physical, that's also multiplied by 2 as well. So it's actually obscenely strong. But they're super cheap for whatever reason. It's like I mine for, like, a chaos or something? Yeah. Yeah. Alright, so what does this guy do? Puncture is a skill that makes guys bleed. For some reason, you can make everything bleeds in this game. I don't know why. You can, like, yeah, skeletons. Look at these guys. They just bleed to death. And some desync. Okay. Yeah. But everything bleeds to death. It's great. So, you know, skeletons can bleed. Carpets can bleed. Statues can bleed. So, I don't know. I think that tells you a lot about Rayclast. So, yeah, as you can see, I use 2 curses because I want to get that highest damage I can out of 1 hit. And projectile weakness and vulnerability provide a lot of extra damage. Like a lot of extra damage. It's like, what, 32% more physical damage and 32% more damage from projectiles. So together it's like 1.8 times damage or something like that. But after you take into armor to account, it's pretty much double the damage, and it's so you're like, do that much without him, right? Do you mean the curses? Oh, he's not. Cool. Yeah, so it is pretty decent damage. Yeah, see? So, effectively, these 2 curses actually double the strength of physical attacks made from a bow. Vulnerability also causes, what, 40% increased damage over time. So, lots of extra damage from vulnerability. Yeah, so Puncture does damage based off that initial hit, so getting that highest initial hit I can is what I want to do. So I got Chinsel, point blank, it's like 3 times damage, and then I got the 2 curses, which is like double that, so it's like 6 times regular damage, you know, from just these regular attacks. And it's actually fairly decent. This guy works okay against fairly weak enemies that you can bleed massive to death with. Yeah. Sometimes guys don't move, so I use knockback on a flame totem. Just push them around. Yeah. That'll keep them knocked back. Yeah. Hopefully the boss doesn't just smash me in 1 hit and like the thing works. Because you can just like put down the flame totem and stand by it. And like it'll just knock guys away. One thing to keep in mind when utilizing knockback is desync, because everything will desync with knockback. Yeah, everything. It's a fairly interesting thing to use. Go faster. Go slower. Go faster. Go slower. Let's get out of here. Round 2. The cave. Yeah, so Flame Totem is obscenely expensive. 99 mana. I would run 4 or 3 40% auras, but I can't cast Flame Totem if I do. So I guess I could blood magic or something. That's a lot of blood though. I make things bleed. I don't want to be the one bleeding. Yeah. So projectile weakness does everything I want it to. It provides pierce, knockback, extra damage. It does everything. Yeah, originally I was just going to use vulnerability or projectile weakness, but you know, this being America, I decided having options wasn't good and simply have all of it instead. There you. Bang. Yeah, 1 shot. Get him. Oh, critted. Yeah, I guess there are like 2 ways to make a Puncture character. Melee is not obviously a viable option. I tried it. I thought like I could use like melee splash and then like concentrated effect, so like it still did damage after melee splash. But if you do that, it makes melee splash have almost no area. So yeah, you could maybe there's a build you could do to maybe get enough area, enough increased AoE nodes. But that doesn't really solve the Puncture on melee is very clumsy to use. Shut up! Oh, red aura. Bleed. Bleed for me. Man. Shallow snipers. Fairy shot. Oh dang. I have no idea what I have not seen. Whatever. I'll go through it later. What was I talking about? Oh man, I don't even know. Standing some cold. Cooled off. Yeah, so the only thing that adds extra physical damage is gonna really help out Puncture. Yeah, yeah. So I got 5 to 14, got like 5 to 10, 5 to 9. And that brings the damage up to, what Puncture does, 132 to 381. It's fairly okay. Add in like the times 6 for, all my curses and point blank and the chin soul bow. That goes up to like, I don't know, about, what, 700 or 800 to 2,000 damage-ish? That's almost like two-hander damage. And even then, it's pretty, I don't know if that's a lot of damage or not. I'm used to just throwing a fire trap and having the entire map burn down. So anything that does less damage than that is gonna seem fairly insignificant. But this guy's fairly effective. I wouldn't say strong, but fairly effective. Oh, let's just push this totem around. Oh yeah, the flame totem actually blinds guys as well. I know you probably haven't seen it because nobody uses blind, but that little blinky thing above the guys' faces, that's them being blinded. I know. I'd never seen it before either. Immortal Aura. That's what Default Leak is for. Now, even though you, like, can die, it's, like, resurrecting is kind of like, I don't know, I think it makes, you know, it makes sense in a way, because, like, Ray class, like, everyone, like, I don't know, you just find all these guys who, like, got thrown off a ship or their ship crashed, the shipwrecked guys, but they're, like, all alive still, because of, yeah, because it's, like, all the undead are coming to life, or... that wouldn't make sense. Undead don't come to life. The dead come undead. Or okay. But anyways, things come back from the dead in Ray class, and you coming back from the dead is really no different. Ooh, a pagan mask. Is that even good? Level 62. It is kind of good. Yeah. Oh, I am losing my train of thought. The blood progenitor. Where are your monkeys? Summon the monkeys. Come on. Summon them. Summon them. Summon. Oh, where does it hit? Miss. Ow. This is kind of how I deal with bosses. It has nothing. Oh god, the flame totem is focusing on him. Get him, turret. Get him, turret. Yeah. Got nothing on the flame totem. Take care of these other monkeys. Out of curiosity, where is he? Oh, he's actually fairly accurate. Oh, he's blind too. I just melee him, couldn't I? Like it's nothing. So, I got the blind flame totem. Keep guys out of the way. Keeps them moving. Keeps them missing, so I don't get one shot by everything. If you do make a character like this and take an unwavering stance, that won't work. So you could equip something that might be useful to you instead of just blind. Because even though you have unwavering stance, or even though they're blinded, with unwavering stance, you can't even dodge an attack that isn't aimed. Amazing. Ooh. Bust ass. Yeah, now I just get to go through the level because I didn't have Z on. Scrolls. Give me them receipts. I want to find out what this stuff is. Alright. So what else? Oh yeah, I got... So how this guy works is, oh yeah, detonate that for dealing with skeletons. Ironically, the 5 link isn't actually useful. I thought it would be, but there's not a whole lot of stuff you can do to enhance physical bow damage. I mean, you can put stuff on, but it doesn't really add that much damage. It strangely doesn't yield that much bigger results. The extra mana cost, it's not that great. I guess physical does have one strength over elemental, in that you don't need to link like mana leech and stuff to it, because you can just get like a ring or an amulet. It's like bam, all the life and mana you need. You're like immortal with physical damage, except you don't do damage, and you're not immortal. So those are two weaknesses. There we go. It's chilled ground stuff, man. I like how it's like tropical, and then it's like just frozen ground. It's like yeah, like Harrison Ford. I don't know. You probably didn't see it, but there was this Harrison Ford movie named like The Mosquito Coast or something. It's a great movie. Probably because Harrison Ford kind of reminds me of my dad, and that he's a complete jackass. But besides that part, great movie. Ooh, a map. Yeah, but in that movie, he, yeah, like, Harrison Ford gets all pissed off at, like, the society that he lives in because he made, like, an ice machine and, like, some guy wouldn't buy it. And, like, he got mad at the system, so he moved to Africa. Obviously, that was the right solution. I might have done something different. That's just me, though. So he, like, moved to Africa, and then he built his ice machine there and like shared his ice with the
What's going on?
With like the natives and shit. So like all the natives got ice. Yeah. And yeah. So like gave like the natives all like ice and stuff, and they like shared it with all of Africa. And then he was still pissed off because like preachers or something were coming in. But this kind of reminds me of that, where there's just like frozen ground randomly, and, like we just spilled a bunch of ice and then left. I don't know. I think like the boss should just be Harrison Ford and these like tropical islands with like area that has patches of chilled ground mod. That would just be great. I'm getting distracted, quite distracted. Oh, I should have had reverse on. Well, that like doubles my evasion. If you don't know the evasion equation, the evasion really drops off pretty heavily at about 4,000 mark. Enemies have about 850 to 1,000 accuracy-ish. And at about 4,000 evasion, you get really, really bad diminishing returns. Because there's an exponent in the equation, but it's less than 1, so it works against you very, very heavily. Back to the build. I am getting distracted. What did I do? I thought I got the skill duration, because Puncture is a duration skill, so it lasts like 8 seconds without the increased duration gem, which, so like one hit, under good circumstances, yeah, it can do like 8 times the damage, which is quite a lot. What else? Oh yeah, Grace, Blood Magic, Enduring Cry. It's pretty reduced mana, actually. Nah. A Blood Magic gem. The most game-breaking gem in the game. Alright. Oh yeah, Blind, Fast Projectiles, Knockback. I actually considered not putting faster projectiles on this totem because it's that expensive. 10 mana cost. Simply too much. So yeah, what do? I got Pierce. I don't want to use LMP on Puncture because it lowers the damage. But Pierce allows you to hit multiple enemies anyways. I don't know why people don't use Pierce. Pierce is pretty good. I guess it doesn't matter because everyone uses Ethereal Knives here. Or Freezing Pulse, which just pierces anyways. So, you don't really need those. I guess that's why nobody uses it. But for physical bows, it's actually pretty good. Projectile weakness, extra pierce, you get like 100% pierce. I was actually considering getting this node, 35% chance arrows pierce. But, as it turns out, I don't think it's really necessary. I think I could just Yeah, that is why I bought a 10%, very important specifically, 10% quality pierce. Because level 19, and that 100% chance to pierce. I was considering getting this. No wait, that's not right. That is fending. Fending with bows. And then like just so I could have like auto knockback. But 15% chance to knock enemies back on hit is kind of paltry when like a pretty decent quality knockback, which you can get for basically free because no one wants these things. Yeah, it provides like 50% chance to knock back, and that'll keep them moving. Maybe not constantly, but it'll definitely push guys away. You can side against the giant monkey there. He's trying to rush me. Couldn't do shit. We are out of here. Next map. Ooh, crypt map. Yep. Cool. Doing it. How long is this? Go. Whoa. Enter the size. 17 gigabytes. Holy.